Good day, everyone, and welcome to our last topic for our semifinals. So, for this module, we are going to learn about the angles in a unit circle. So, there are many problems involving angles in several fields, like in engineering, medical imaging, electronics, astronomy, geography, and many more. Surveyors also, in pilots, landscapers, designers, soldiers, and people in many other professions, heavily use angles and trigonometry to accomplish a variety of practical tasks. So in this module, we will deal with the basics of the angle measures together with arc lengths and sectors. So at the end of this video discussion, you should be able to illustrate the unit circle and the relationship between the linear and angular measures of arcs in a unit circle. And second is to be able to to learn in converting the measures, degree measures to radian measures, and vice versa. So by the end of this module also, I will give you your final seat work and uh, assignment for this semi-final term. So let's proceed. So first is we are going to discuss about angle measures. So an angle is formed by rotating a ray about its endpoint. So a ray, by the way, is a line with one endpoint and the other one is kaning arrow siya, meaning it can be extended infinitely. So that is a ray. So in this figure shown below, the initial side of the angle AOB, bali mo na siya iyang initial side, while uh, ang initial side is the ray OA. So kaning nga ray. So AO and A. While the terminal side is the ray OB. So kaning sa taas. So again, this is its initial side, then mo move siya padulong there is a taas or there is a point B. So that is its terminal side. So an angle is said to be positive if the ray rotates in a counterclockwise direction. So opposite sa direction sa ato ang orasan or sa clock. So that is counterclockwise. So the angle is positive. And if it rotates in a clockwise direction, then the angle is said to be a negative angle. So kung pa clockwise direction naman siya. Okay? So an angle is in standard position if it is drawn in the xy plane with its vertex at the origin and its initial side on the positive x-axis. So again, it is in the standard position if it is located at the origin, iyahang vertex, so kani iyahang point, and point niyan makita sa origin or at the 0, 0 coordinate, and ang iyahang initial side, which is kani siya, initial side sa kay naka-lie sa positive x-axis. So kaning um, black nga arrow. So the angles alpha, beta, and theta are in the following figure are angles in standard position. So these are examples of angles that in standard position. So first is the alpha, which is this red nga arrow. So iyahang angle kay kani padulong dara. So that is the alpha. The beta is the brown nga arrow. So paubos iyahang angle. So this is an example of a positive angle that is in standard position, and beta is an example of a negative angle which is also in standard position, and theta, which is kaning blue nga line, is also an example of a positive angle in its standard position. So to measure angles, we are going to use degrees. It can be used uh, using the degrees, the minutes, the seconds, and radians. So a central angle of a circle measures 1 degree which is written as 1, then this is the degree sign, if it intercepts 1 over 36 of the circumference of a circle. So let's say this is a semicircle, meaning this is half of the circle. So I am using a protractor as illustration. And if you're going to divide the circle into 360 parts, then 1 over 36 is its 1 degree. So for this example, from your initial side, kaning colored green at 0, and your terminal side is at the first line, or that is 1, so that is over 360 ka-lines, so that is 1 over 360, and that is the 1 degree of your circle. Ang minute naman is, or that is written in 1 prime or 1 apostrophe, kana 1 prime, that is 1 over 60 of the 1 degrees. So, sa sulod aning 1 degree, kung imo nang i-zoom, then i-divide na po na nimo into 60 parts, then that will be the minute. Next is the second. So, second is 1 over 60 of the minute. So, sa sulod na po sa minute, so if you're going to zoom this again, then you will divide it into 60 parts, then you will get the second. And that is denoted by 1 double prime or 1 duha ka apostrophe. Okay, so let's have an example. So, for example, we are going to convert this one into its degree equivalent. So, for example, we have given 10 degrees, 30 minutes, 18 seconds. So, mali siya ang pagbasa. Okay, we are going to convert this into degrees na format. So, first, mag-start ta sa rightmost nato, which is kaning si second. So, we are going to convert second into minutes. So, that is by multiplying 18 by 1 over 60. So, 18 times 1 over 60, that is 18 over 60. Then you will add it to your given nga minute, which is 30. So that's why we have 30 plus 18 over 60. Then yung unit na dayon is in minute. Next, so the answer for that is 30.3 minutes. Next is we are going to convert the 30.3 minutes into degrees. That is by, again, multiplying it by 1 over 60. So 30.3 times 1 over 60, that is 30.3 divided over 60, or that is 0.505. Then you add it by the given degrees, which is 10. So we have our final answer of 10.505 degrees. So how about pabaliktad naman? So we are given with degrees and we are going to convert it into the format of degree, minute, and second. So kabaliktaran lang atong buhaton. So instead of multiplying it by 1 over 60, we are going to multiply it by 60, the inverse of it. So for example, we have 79.251 degrees. So we are going to convert the decimal part into the minute and into seconds. So we have 0.251, which is the decimal part. We are going to multiply it by 60. So we get the minute niya nga equivalent. So that is 15.06. Then again, multiplying the decimal part, the 0.606 by 60, then we get its second nga equivalent. So our final answer here is 79 degrees, 15 minutes, 3.6 seconds. Okay. So recall that the unit circle is a circle with center at the origin and the radius of 1 unit. So that is the definition of a unit circle. So it is located at the origin, 0, 0 coordinate, with a radius of 1 unit. So a central angle of this unit circle that intercepts an arc of the circle with length 1 unit is said to have a measure of 1 radian, which is written as 1 rad. So, pwede ra siya 1 rad ang shortcut sa 1 radian pagkasulat. So, again, kani daw ang mo ni siya ang ato ang central angle. So, mo ni ang atong initial nga side. This is our terminal side. And this is our central angle. Kani si theta. So, naa siya kani nga length. This length is equivalent to 1 radian, or that is equivalent to 57.3 degrees. So I will show you later kung saan na pagkuha. So 57.3 degrees when we are going to learn how to convert radians to degrees. So in trigonometry, as it was studied in grade 9, the degree measure is often used. So, kani atong perminting ginagamit. So, naka-degrees ang atong mga ginagamit atong grade 9 pa mo. So, on the other hand, in some fields in mathematics like calculus, radian measure of angles is preferred. So, from kung mag-calculus na mo, puhon, so kung makapasar kay ang ginagamit na nga measure usually dito is in radian. So if you're going to use your calculator, so you're going to switch your mode from degrees to radians. So that is by pressing shift, then mode, then you choose radian or rad. So if you wish to go back in degree nga measure, then you are going to press again the shift mode, then you choose degree or deg. So the radian measure allows us to treat the trigonometric functions as functions with a set of real numbers as domains rather than angles. So remember the trigonometric functions, the sine, the cosine, the tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. So those are trigonometric functions. So if you're going to use that, you should be using the radian measure instead of the degree measure or the angle. Okay, so let's have an example. So in the following figure, identify the terminal side of an angle in standard position with the given measure. So we have this illustration that is in standard position since it is located at the origin, and um, its initial side is located at the positive side of your x-axis. So we are going to identify the terminal side with the given degree measure and radian measure. So for number 1, we have 135 degrees. So if you're not yet familiar with your kaning Cartesian coordinate, so ang 0 degree, mag-start na siya sa dari sa inyong positive side sa imong x-axis. So this is 0 degrees. So kaning sa y naman, this is your 90 degrees. So of course, half of that, so in between sa 0 and 90 degrees, that is your 45 degrees na angle. Okay? So sa other side naman, this is your, so you just have to add 90 by 45. So that is 135 degrees. Then, kanina man siya is your 180 degrees. So, nagpa-straight siya nga line. So, this is your initial side, then imong terminal side is nadari, then that is 180 degrees. So, straight line lang siya. Then, this is your 180 plus 45, 225 degrees. Then you add 45 again. That is 270 degrees. This is 270 degrees. Then, if mubalik naman ka, so nituyo ka, kung nituyo ka dari, napadulong balik sa 0. Then, this is your 360 degrees. So, one rotation from your dari 0 degrees is 360. So, half of that is your 180 degrees. So, we are going to locate where is the terminal side of the 135 degrees. So 135 is here. So its terminal side is OC. So that's why we have an answer here, ray OC. So next is negative 135. So since it is negative, then the direction of our angle is clockwise. So this is 135 degrees. So this is 90, this is 135, 180, 225, ay, sorry, darira day taman. 90, 135. So this is our negative 135 degrees. So from your initial side na kaning sa A, so this is 90, then this is negative 135. So the answer here is OD. So manang OD. Next is negative 90. So negative 90 is just kaning paubos. So this is negative 90. That is in clockwise direction. So that is OE. And lastly is 405 degrees. So that is, since it is positive, then you are going to move in counterclockwise direction. So 90, 180, 270, 360. So 360 plus 45, that is 405 degrees. So your terminal side is located at OB. That's why you have OB here. So what about in radian measure? So where is pi over 4 rad located? Makita iyang terminal side. So before that, I will teach you how to convert degree measure into radian measure. So in converting degree measure to radian, we are just simply going to multiply pi over 180 degrees sa iya. So in radians, this is also equal to 0 in I will change the color to red. So this is 0 in radians. Then the half of your circle, in circle, that is equal to pi. Okay? So this means ang half sa tong 0 and pi is equal to pi over 2. So i-divide lang na to 2 ang ato ang pi. And this is our, so pi, dungagan lang nato siya pi over 2. So this is equal to 3 pi over 2. So you can treat pi as, for example, an apple. So from 0 going halfway sa imong circle, that is apple, one apple. So half of that is half of the apple, or that is apple divided by 2. And if you're going to add 90 degrees from that, so that is apple plus 1 half apple. So 1 plus 1 half, that is equal to 3 over 2 apple. Then complete rotation, yung complete rotation is equal to 2 pi, or 2 apple. Okay, so again, this is 0, this is pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. So if you want to know what is the radian measure in between sa 0 and sa pi over 2, so just divide pi over 2 by 2, or that is equal to pi over 4. Okay, so in converting the degrees to radian, you just have to multiply it by pi over 180 degrees because pi is equal to 180 degrees, diba? Equal sila, pi of 180. So if you're given with degrees, for example, we have 90 degrees. So 90 degrees. So in converting that, you can multiply it by pi over 180 or you can use 2 pi over 360. So kung 2 pi imong gamiton, dapat ang degrees nga imong gamiton is 360 or its equivalent. So sa may equivalent ni 2 pi, so that is 360. So to make it simpler, so i-reduce na lang nato siya. So 2 over 360 is just equal to 1 over 180. So we are going to multiply it by pi over 180 degrees. So pi rad di siya. Rad or radian. Okay? So the degree here will be cancelled because kani siya nasa numerator, denominator. So ma-cancel out. So ang mabilin is 90 pi over 180 rad. So rad here is the unit sa radian measure. Okay? So we have 90 pi over 180. And 90 over 180 is just equal to 1 over 2 or 1 half, diba? So, ang mabilin sa taas is si pi, sa ubos kay si 2. And its unit nga rad. Okay? So, we have pi over 2 rad. So, sakto itong answer there nga pi over 2. So, what if we are going to convert from radian measure to degrees? So, in converting from radian to degrees, so baliktaron lang nato to si pi over 180 into 180 over pi. So, for example, we are going to convert 270 it should be in radians. Sorry. So, for example, we have 3 pi over 2. Then, you are going to convert this to degrees. So, inyo lang timanaan nga dapat in degrees, wala na ni si pi. So, since naaman sa numerator si pi, so ibutang nato si pi sa denominator sa atong i-multiply para ma-cancel siya. So, ang taas ni pi is the equivalent degrees. So, the equivalent degrees of pi is 180 degrees. Okay. So, the pi here will be cancelled. So, we have 3 times 180 degrees over 2. So, 3 times 180, that is 540 degrees. So, 540 degrees. So, napatay 2 the ray, so we divide it by 2. And that is equal to 270 degrees. So, inyo lang timanan in conversion kay si pi o si 180. Equivalent niya kay, ang equivalent ni pi kay 180. The next is, your aim here is to cancel out the unit nga inyong gustong ma-convert. So, katong gi-convert na to siya dapat into degrees. So, dapat ang degrees ang mabilin. So, i-cancel out to na tong pi. So, kung maglibog mo, kung inyong gamiton ba kay pi over 180 or 180 over pi, so we just have to see the unit nga dapat ma-cancel out sila. Okay, so for this number 2 example, since we already know how to convert this into radians, from radians to degrees, so we will going to convert this into degrees. So pi over 4, so you multiply it by, so since nasa taas si pi, so ang mo i-multiply, nasa ubos nga pi, then 180. So, ma-cancel si pi, mabilin 180 over 4. So 180 divided by 4 is 45. So positive 45 degrees. So this is 45 degrees. Tada. So the answer here is OB. Next is negative 3 pi over 4. So dungagan lang nato nig 3. So 3 times 180, then negative di ay. So negative 3 times 180 divided by 4, that is negative 135. So negative angle, so that is in clockwise direction from your initial side. So initial side A, so this is 90, this is 135. So the answer here is OD, or ray OD. Kanang sign, kanang ray nga sign. So next is 3 pi over 2. So that is 3 pi over 2, you multiply it by 180 over 5. So makancel si pi, so 3 times 180, that is 540 divided by 2, that is equal to 270 degrees. So 270 degrees, so positive man siya, so counterclockwise direction ta. So this is 90, 135, 180, 225, 270. So our answer here is OE. And lastly, we have negative pi over 2. So since this is positive pi over 2, ang negative niya kay nasa yung opposite nga side. So we have negative pi over 2. So our answer here is OE. Okay? So the figure 8.2 shows some special angles in standard position with the indicated terminal sides, and the degrees and radian measures are also given. So muna akong gi-drawing ganiya. So 0 degree, equivalent niya nga radian is 0. 360 degrees, yung equivalent kay 2 pi. So 30 degrees, yung equivalent kay pi over 6. So kabalo naman sa pag-convert. So no need to memorize this na lang. This is just for illustration na lang. Okay, kabalo naman mo mag-convert. So for example, there are more examples here in conversion. So 75 degrees, converting mo siya into radians. So 75, this is in degrees. Dayon, dari kay degrees po. So remember, dapat opposite ang muhang unit para ma-cancel out siya. So that is 75 pi over 180, or that is 5 pi over 12 rad. 240, so you multiply it by pi over 180, that is equal to 4 pi over 3 rad. So if you are given with rad, then convert it into degrees, then just baliktaron lang to nimong pi over 180. So i-multiply nimo 180 over pi para makancel si pi, mabilin 180 over 8, or that is 22.5, or pi over 8 is equal to 22.5 degrees. So 11 pi over 6. So again, multiply it by 180 over pi, cancel si pi. 11 times 180 divided by 6, that is 330. So the answer here is 330 degrees. So next topic, since kabala na mo in converting degrees to radians and radians to degree measures, so we have here the coterminal angles. So two angles in standard position that have a common terminal side are called coterminal angles. So observe that the degree measures of coterminal angles differ by multiples of 360 degrees. So the two angles are coterminal if and only if their degree measures differ by 360k. So kaning k dari kay din siya 1,000 ta. Ang k dari mo na siya ang i-multiply sa iyaha, where k is a subset of all integers. Similarly, two angles are coterminal if and only if their radian measures is differed by 2 pi k. So kung decrease kay 360, so of course in radians, 360 is equal to 2 pi in radians. So for just a quick illustration, uh, we are asked to find the coterminal of an angle measures 410 degrees. So that is just by subtracting 360 degrees from 410. So the result there is 50 degrees. So this is the from your initial side that lies in positive x-axis, your 410 here kay mo ni siya. So nituyok siya. So this is 90, 180, 270, 360, plus another 45 that is um, I mean 50 that is 410. So mo ni siyang 410. So yung terminal angle is equal to 50 degrees. So another example. So find the coterminal with negative 380 degrees that has measure between 0 and 360 degrees. So first, i-plot na to si negative 380 degrees. So since it is a negative angle, then we are going to in a clockwise direction. So we have negative 90. This is negative 180. This is negative 270. Tama ba? Then, this is negative 360. So, pila na yung nabilin? So, since 380 ni siya, naa siya sobra nga negative 20 degrees. So, yung arrow padalong dara. Okay? So, this is 20 degrees. Okay. So, the question here is, what is the uh, coterminal angle that is in between 0 and 360? So that is a positive nga angle. Gikan ni 0, from 0, so si 0 padulong daw ning 360. So ang siyang coterminal. So since this is 0, tuyo ka padulong ni 360. So ni touch siya ni unsa man ni nga angle. This is 360 minus 20 kaning color violet nga angle. That is 360 minus 20. So yung answer is equal to 340 degrees. Okay? So may siyang explanation. So for number 2, so the same lang, negative 380 kaning red, that is negative 380. But here, in between na siya ni negative 360 and 0. That is in counterclockwise direction. So from negative 360, padulong daw siya ni 0. So that is, so nituyok ta, padulong dari niya. So that is negative, in negative direction man, that is in clockwise direction. So we have an answer of negative 20 nga angle. So next is about the arc length. So in a circle, a central angle whose radian measure is theta subtends an arc that is the fraction of your angle over 2 pi of the circumference of the circle. So thus, in a circle of radius r, which is shown in this figure, the length s of an arc that subtends the angle theta is equal to the angle theta over 2 pi times the circumference of the circle. Diba? You remember sa degrees, ang 1 degree, equivalent siya ni 1 over, ay sorry, 1 degree is equivalent to 1 over 360. So when you convert this 360 into radian, so may mo na siyang 1 over 360 is equal to 2 pi. So 1 here is your katong angle nga imong gi 1 degree ni siya kung pasabot. So if you have an unknown degree here, so this will be treated as theta, or the angle, I mean. This is not a degree, an angle. So the angle here is in radian. So since 2 pi is in radian, so dapat ang numerator po nato, which is the theta, is also in radian. Okay? So this is the fraction of the unit circle ana nga angle, which is multiplied by its circumference. So mo ni siya ang circumference niya. So pag i-multiply to nimo, ang imong makuha nga result is only this one, kani si S. Okay? So that is the arc length. So again, the arc length S is equal to the fraction of the circumference of the circle, the fraction of the angle. So given kag angle over 2 pi, you multiply it by the circumference of the circle, which is equal to 2 pi r. So since common si 2 pi r, so we can kanang cancel out si 2 pi r. So ang mabilin na lang si angle and si r. Okay? Which means our arc length is equal to r times the angle theta that is in radians. So in a circle of radius r, the length s of an arc intercept by a central angle with measure theta, which is in radians, and it is given by s is equal to r theta. So for example, you are given with a radius of 10 meters and a central angle of 30 degrees, and you're asked to find its length of arc, or the S. So first, your angle theta should be in radians, and the given is in degrees. So you have to convert it first to radians. So 30 degrees, you multiply it by pi over 180 degrees. So that is equal to pi over 6, because 30 divided by 180 is 1 over 6. So pi over 6 radians. So you multiply it by the given radius r, that is 10 meters. So 10 times pi over 6, that is equal to 5 pi over 3 meters. So that is your length of arc. So another example, a central angle in a circle of radius 4 meters subtended by an arc length of 6 meters. Find the measure of angle in radians. So again, the given is radius, which is equal to 4 meters, and arc length, S, is equal to 6 meters. And you are going to find the angle in radians. So you're going to use the S, the formula of arc length, which is S is equal to R times theta, or the angle. So you divide it by, since ang atong pangitawon kay si angle, you divide both sides of the equation by r. So mabilin si theta is equal to s over r. Then you substitute the values. So s here is 6 meters and r is equal to 4. So 6 divided by 4, that is 3 halves radians, or rad. So this is our final answer. So next naman is the area of a sector. Ganiha is length of the arc. So A sector of a circle is the portion of the interior of a circle bounded by the initial and terminal sides of a central angle and its intercept arc. So this is your central angle, and this is your initial side and your um, terminal side, and this is your arc S. So the area there bounded by those lines and curves is the sector of a circle. So area of a sector of a circle. So that is by that is like a slice of pizza, and remember that the angle with measure of 2 pi radians will define a sector that corresponds to the whole circle or whole pizza. So therefore, the central angle of a sector has measure of a radians, angle radians, then the sector makes up the fraction of, again, angle over 2 pi here, which is the whole circle, multiplied by the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. Since pi is common sa numerator ug denominator, so ma-cancel out, then ang mabili na lang kay si pi r squared, I mean theta r squared over 2, or that is 1/2 theta times r squared. Okay, so that is the formula for the area of the sector. So, i-memorize lang ninyo is this part, I mean, angle over 2 pi. Then, if it is asked for to find the length, the arc length, then you just multiply it by the circumference of the circle. And if it is asked uh, by the area of a sector of the circle, then you just multiply it by the area of the circle. So area or circumference line you multiply. So in a circle of radius r, so the area A of a sector with a central angle measuring angle radians is area is equal to 1/2 r squared times theta. So pwede ra na mabali-bali si theta ug si r squared since it is just a multiplication. So let's have an example. So first example, find the area of a sector of a circle with central angle 60 degrees if its radius of the circle is 3 meters. So area. So um, again, the angle here should be in radians since the given angle is in degrees. So we have to convert it first into radians. So 60 degrees times pi over 180, that is equal to pi over 3 radians. Then plug in the the given. So we have 1/2 r squared theta. So that is equal to 1/2 r is 3 meters. That is the radius of the circle squared multiplied by the central angle, which is pi over 3. So the result there is 3 pi over 2 meters squared. So since area siya, dapat ang atong unit is in square. Another example. So a sprinkler on a golf course fairway is set to spray water over a distance of 70 feet and rotates through an angle of 120 degrees. Find the area of the fairway watered by the sprinkler. So, nadatay sprinkler, kailan mong sprinkler? Kanang nabitaw sa mga field nga mo spray og water na automatic nga mo spray sa water. So, ang distance daw sa sprinkler kay sa pag-spray sa water kay mabot siya 70 feet. So, from the sprinkler, yung distance taman siya ni 70 feet. Dayon, kaya niya mo rotate. So, i-rotate niya mo i-rotate niya ang pagsaboy o pag-spray og water in 120 degrees. So since this is 180, then this is 90. Pila man? 80 minus 120, 60. So mga dari, mga taman dari. So 90. So this is 120 degrees. Na. So taman da dari iyahang masabuyan. Taman ra ni 120. So the question is, what is the area nga butangan og tubig sa sprinkler? So that is by using the area of a sector formula, that is 1/2 r squared times the angle. So again, since given nga angle is in degrees, then you have to convert it into radians. So that is 120 multiplied by pi over 180. That is equal to 2 pi over 3 rad. Then you multiply it by its radius. So radius katong ihang maximum na distance nga malabayan siyang tubig is 70 feet. So that is 1/2 atong i-substitute sa formula. So 1/2 times r squared, that is 70 squared, multiplied by our angle nga 2 pi over 3. And that is equal to 4,900 pi over 3, or approximately equal to 5,131 feet squared. Okay, that is our final answer. So this will be your sit work and assignment number 8. So the deadline will be announced ato ang GC. So that will be all for this module and for the coverage for our semi-final examination. Thank you.